an interesting topic. I'm going to talk to you about the setting up the Microsoft Windows Server 2016. I'm going to show you how to install it, and I'm going to show you how to set up the Server 2016 by using the Hyper-V Manager on the server. As you can see here, I have the Hyper-V Manager set up already on the server. My actual server, it's not in either Active Directory, or it's just a simple server, and I just install the Hyper-V Manager's role, set up the IP addresses and the rest. So my intention and idea is to educate people and to how to do a different type of setup. But for today, I'm going to show you how to set up and how to install, set and configure Server 2016. Okay, so I have an external drive, a USB external drive set up, USB plugged into my server, and I'm going to install the Windows Server 2016. So in the left pane of the Hyper-V Manager, on the right pane, not a left pane, right pane, you will see that says an option which says New. I'm going to click the arrow, and I'm going to say Virtual Machine. The new Virtual Machine wizard pops up the window, and it shows you step by step how to each step to set up and install the Server 2016 in this case. Okay. All right. So let's go next. In the second window, in the second step, we'll specify the name and the location when the server is going to be. So I am going to give the name. Usually I do a short abbreviation, server as Virtual Server 2016, VS 2016. Okay, in this case. And it is an option when it says you can create a folder or use an existing folder to store the virtual machines. If you don't select a folder, the virtual machine is stored in a default folder configuration on the server. So in this case, I already have the set up a volume partition. But actually, no, I have a separate internal hard drive set up as a so we can have I can have all the Hyper-V Manager Windows operating systems in there saved. Okay, so the location, so this will click the browse. So in the browse, I will see, when I click on this PC, you'll see here that I have a local C drive, which the Windows is already installed, and I have other drives too. So I name it Data eShared, and I also gave the folder name because I installed the virtual the Hyper-V Manager, and I set them up directly into the hard drive, to the other internal hard drive, to the second hard drive. And I am going to do a so since we do it display Hyper-V Manager, so folder started virtual machines. So virtual machines. Okay, I'm just going to click on virtual machine, and I'm going to select the folder, and I'm going to click next. So third option is choose a generation of the virtual machines. The first generation supports a 32-bit and 64-bit guest operating system and provides a virtual hardware which has been available in the previous version of Hyper-V. The generation 2 usually it's more for the new visualization features. UEFI based firmware normally used if I wanted to do this as a VDI, as a Visual Desktop Interface. So I'm leaving as a generation 1. Okay, click next. I'm going to set up the memory. This time I'm going to leave it as a 1024 since we installed in a server, and I recommend that at least a 1.24 1 gigabit at least at the minimum. And here is where the networking configuration will start. And so in the connection bar, when I click the arrow down, it'll show me my Hyper-V external visual switch that I created previously. So the create visual hard, this is when to connect a visual hard disk. The name of the visual hard disk that is going to be created, the location, the path where it's going to be held, and the gigabit, the size of a hard drive. I can actually make it a little bigger by saying like 325 or 350 hard drive, size of the hard drive. But we have a couple other options here. We said use an existing virtual hard disk. So use this option to attach an existing virtual hard disk either to virtual hard disk or VHD formats. So if you, this option here is only when you actually had set up the virtual hard disk, but not the operating system. And now you're going to start to install an operating system in the hard disk that you already set up later. Use the second option, see if you have it already set up. But in this case, I haven't done anything yet, so I'm going to show you step by step how to. So basically, we are creating a virtual machines, Windows, and also the hard drive itself. So by clicking next, now you can install operating systems. You have to set up the media. You can install it, and a couple options. Install an operating system now. You can install an operating system from a bootable CD. So install from a bootable floppy disk. Install an operating system from a network base. I'm going to choose install an operating system from a bootable, and I'm going to do an image ISO. I'm going to click browse. As I told you previously that I already have a bunch of Windows systems saved on the external hard drive. So I'm choosing external hard drive, and I'm using Windows Server 2016 ISO image. Now I'm going to click next. This is the main summary that says you have successfully completed the new visualization wizard. You are about to create a following virtual machines. So by clicking finish, the Hyper-V is configuring all the parameters for the Windows Server that I'm going to set up. Okay, so now the virtual machine is created, not the Windows yet. So I'm going to right click it here and go to connect. I am going to connect, but it does not automatically turn off, so I have to turn them on by clicking the button start. By clicking the button start, the virtual machine hard disk that we just created automatically start to load the files from the path of the Windows system that I already choose to grab. So as you can see, now it's starting to load an operating system. It's going to be a little quick at the beginning. So I'm going to choose the language, time, current form. It's already by default. So it looks like I'm going to leave it as it is. install it now. The setup is starting. It's going to take a little bit of time, but for now, okay, so as you can see, the Windows setup starts. It tells me what type of operating system do you want. Do you want the standard operating server? Do you want the standard desktop experience? Basically, the standard is without a GUI. It's without a graphic user interface, but the standard desktop experience is when the server shows the GUI interface. It's much easier for you to configure it instead of using the command prompt interface. Okay, so we're going to click next. Actually, no, not standard. I'm going to use a data center. It's much better experience, data center with a desktop experience this time. Okay, so I'm going to click next. I'm going to accept the license and terms and click next. And now I'm going to choose not the upgrade because I'm not upgrading the system. I'm just basically installing fresh from the beginning. As you saw before, this is the allocation space that I created before. 350 gigabit for the hard drive. Now I'm clicking next. So by clicking next, Windows is starting to populate. Okay, so it's starting to install the Windows. So I'm going to leave it for a few moments till the installation is completely done, and I'm coming back to you guys later. Okay. So okay, here we are, guys. Welcome back. Yes, the Windows setup is ready. So now I am in the customized settings where I put my password for username will be administrator for now automatically by default. So I'm just gonna use I'm gonna start typing a password. Finalize your settings. Okay, so the Windows is ready now. I'm going to click Control Alt Delete to restart. And here we are. I'm typing the password. On this example, I'm just adding the password, typing as the password. Welcome. Please wait for the user profile services. So the Windows is configuring the user profiles and preparing the Windows for the service. Okay. All right. It's gonna take a few minutes. Still waiting for Windows to come up. Still, the Windows is not coming up yet, so it's taking some time. As you know, it's on a virtual machine. So, but basically this is it. That's how you install a Windows Server 2016 for this scenario. on the next video, I'm going to talk to you about some configuration roles and features of the server 2016. So I am going to close the video for now. As you already saw it, the Windows is already set up. I'm just waiting I'm going to show you when it starts. Okay guys, sorry, it took a little bit longer than I expected for the server to open up. But as you can see here, Windows Server 2016 is ready, it's opened. The first thing you're going to see here is the server manager and all the function and attributes. Now you're looking at the local server properties, computer names, workbook, work groups, sorry, work groups, Windows Firewall, remote management, remote desktops, NIC teaming, Ethernet, what operating systems I have. It's right now installed. It shows all the information basically of the local server. So this is a fresh install of the server 2016. Guys and girls, that's how you do the first install of the server 2016 into the Hyper-V manager. Okay, I got a couple windows here that I'm moving along the way because I'm using a remote desktop to remote my server through my laptop, and using the Hyper-V manager to actually install and set up the server. So the one last thing before I stop the video, I wanted to show you where the location of the virtual machine is located. So I'm going to click the Windows Explorer, go to my this PC. On this PC, I have a data E. I have saved I created a folder HVDC 2016. Okay, and on the virtual machine, you can see it's a VS 2016 virtual hard disk and virtual machines. So the hard disk that we created is right here, and the virtual machine names is also here. Hard disk, you'll see it on the folder. It's the same hard disk VS. Actually, 1 second. Virtual hard disk HVDC. Okay, so this is the path populated of all the information that Windows Server 2016 have, and as you can see, I use this path toward my external USB hard drive. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on the next video lecture for how to configure the Windows Server 2016. Okay, all right, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, guys.